We continue our series here looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball. Today, the team we're discussing, the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and we're going to begin looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Blue Jays with the good. And as we look at the good for this organization in this late September push towards the postseason, Bo Bichette has rediscovered his hitting ability. There's going to be a lot of questions for this Blue Jays team as we get deep into this postseason run, but having Bo Bichette at the top of the order, putting in the at-bats that we know he is capable of doing, only helped to serve the Blue Jays throughout the rest of the lineup. I think that Bo Bichette is really the main focus of this team. How he is doing is also how the Blue Jays go, in my opinion. You're always going to be having teams game planning around Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So Bo Bichette having his ability to be able to put the bat on the ball, drive in runs, and be a real catalyst for this organization and for this lineup night in and night out is really where this team is going to find themselves flourishing. When you look at the way that Bo Bichette has struggled throughout most of this season, having him regain that form, regain his power stroke is really going to be what allows this team to find a new level heading into the postseason. As we look at the bad for the Toronto Blue Jays, they find themselves with the Baltimore Orioles hot on their trail for the third and final wildcard spot in the American League. There's not a lot of games separating these two teams right now, and not a lot of time left to hold off the Baltimore Orioles, who are currently surging. I think there's an opportunity for the Blue Jays to really put the pedal to the metal and hold down the Baltimore Orioles and everyone else to maintain themselves in that third wildcard spot. For Toronto, being able to hold off all incoming teams is really going to be a very big stand. This is a young ball club that is still kind of coming into its own maturity as a baseball team and as individual players. So being able to sustain themselves heading into this postseason push is an absolute must. Being able to hold off a team like Baltimore to maintain themselves in that wildcard spot gives them that opportunity. But right now, a lot of tension in the city of Toronto. And as we look at the ugly for this organization, there was a lot of high expectations on this team. They were expected to be the number one team going into this 2022 campaign. Many baseball pundits looked at the Blue Jays and the moves that were done and the moves that were made this offseason as the heavy favorites to run away with this division. They were not expected to be in the position that they are now as the third best team in the division. Going into this 2022 campaign with the young stars, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. boasting about how his 2021 campaign was just the trailer to the movie that was about to be this 2022 campaign for the Toronto Blue Jays was really high expectations. And they put a lot of pressure on this organization. Now the question is did that pressure and did those high expectations pay a price and weigh on these players heading into this 2022 campaign, leaving them to finish right now if the season were to end in third place? There's going to be an opportunity for the Blue Jays to put all those naysayers behind them and finish with a strong push heading into the postseason and being able to do damage from there. But going into it, there is the obvious situation and the obvious circumstance that pressure and expectations could have weighed heavily on these young Blue Jays players to knock them down a peg. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What are the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Toronto Blue Jays right now? Let me know these feelings, or you can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked in to the entire JLMG family with Wee Sibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting that subscribe button on all three channels. For sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. Use the promo code BLUEJAYS, all one word, to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked in as we continue to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.